and I believe you can actively use meditation as well as passively. I'm not 100% sure exactly how that works. Evaluating intelligence is generally a skill magic users want to use, but I don't actually plan on using any offensive magic that targets opponents. So I'm not actually going to have any evaluating intelligence on this character. I'll explain that. I'll go into depth as to why that's important later. It's essentially evaluating intelligence functions as a way to check against resistances. So if you say go up against something that has 75 resisting spells, your spells aren't going to do very much damage because it's going to resist you, and evaluating intelligence overcomes that. So if you're trying to, like, you know, nuke things down, evaluating intelligence is a really good skill to have. Most mages, you'll see that our casting will have 100 capped out evaluating intelligence. It's also a really great way to level up your intelligence. But for now, we're not going to take it. We may do hiding. I'm not 100% sure if we need to, and it's not going to be any fun to level, so. Arms Lord, consequently, is a great way to level up strength if you want to level strength. It's kind of weird, but in like 2 days of macroing, you'll have like pretty close to cap strength. Alright, so we've got our basic. We've got anatomy, mace fighting, magery, and tactics. And we can actually leave that open to watch our skills grow. And then, what did I say? Skill scrolls? Yeah, alright. I'll beat on this rat while I talk to you guys about skill scrolls. So, skill scrolls are unique to this server. They drop off of pretty much any monster that you kill that is... what's the word? Of relevant skill level. And they have different... they're for different things. So, for Stoic, you double-click it and it actually increases your magery skill. This is one of the big advantages of playing a semi-legit character versus a character that's macroing based, is that the skill scrolls don't drop when you're sitting AFK at the bank auto-using skills. I'll show you what macroing looks like a little bit later after I've killed sufficient rats. I want to get, I don't know, maybe one more meat, and then we'll go see if we can sell these things to vendors. I'm not 100% sure if we can, but I kind of hope we can, because it would help out with the sense of adventure. Alright, now we got that, and I'm pretty sure we could make another character that had tailoring and turn these hides into leather armor, which could sell, which would be... I'm not going to say it's a great way to make money. The best way in the world to make money in UO is to level a bard, at least until you can have a character with enough magic skill. So now what we need is a butcher. Some dead people here. We're by the way, oh, I'm sorry about that. That was probably really loud. We're under the protection of the guards, which means if anybody tries to do anything to us that would be considered an aggressive action, you can go and the guards will come and dispatch them pretty handily. So I'm going to try to talk to the cook. Is it that? No. That's a cook. I'll see if I can sell anything to the cook. Nope. I have to find the butcher. Oh, we're out of stamina. That's really unfortunate. Britain is a huge city for UO. I don't know if it's the biggest. I'd probably be wrong in saying it's the biggest because Trinsic is gigantic as well. But as a starting city, I know many people. There's a butcher. I know many people who never actually leave Britain. In terms of their playing, they end up, getting player housing around Britain, and I do not discourage that. It's a good city. Ah, yes. Rat ribs. 1 gold each. Ha ha! 4 of our own gold pieces. Look at that. That's all profit, baby. And so this, while it may seem like X2X, there's got to be a better way to make gold. UO is pretty challenging game to make gold in. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the easiest, but as you become more skilled, it becomes easier to make larger sums of money. So that's one option. That's really safe option. That would be the option that I would encourage. I would encourage you to do if you were new to the game. You know, you were a little nervous about getting planter blasted. And there are a million stores in Britain. I'm looking for Taylor. If you were worried about getting planter blasted by, you know, the fact that monsters can kill you quite quickly, and the game, what's dangerous about UO versus, say, your other games is that getting surrounded by monsters is really bad. As it is an isometric game, there is collision. This is a demon, by the way. This guy, his high-level mage, has summoned these to follow him around and do his bidding. They'll kill you in like 2 hits with 100 strength. There are some PvE monsters which you cannot actually stand beside in UO. Where the heck is the Taylor? Jeepers. There are also, for the cautious player, this is the, up here, right here, is the place where you can come by horses. Horses increase your movement speed by a substantial amount. This right here is, this is the guildstone for the newbie enrichment, but right here, these are target dummies. You can actually come, what do we got here? Yeah, regular one. And you can beat on, you can beat on these target dummies. And you'll gain skill quite slowly. So if you really want to be safe, you can come here and beat on these guys. Each one has a different amount that it can train you to. There's masters, advanced, and these guys are the baby ones. You can also even come train your snooping skill by dipping into the pickpocket there. Anyway, so I've failed to find the tailor, so this is the inn. We might have somebody here who will buy our hides. I'm skeptical though. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna take you guys up to the graveyard, sort of on our continue our sightseeing tour. The monsters in the graveyard are quite a bit stronger than the rats, but with difficulty comes rewards. And one of the big rewards, these are carpenters that are chopping down trees, as you can hear them, tunk, tunk, tunk. If you die, up here, this place is newbie friendly, as you can see by the sign. Griefing in this area is strictly forbidden. If somebody griefs you, you can petition a GM and they'll come write it out. There's a multitude of ways of griefing people in Ultima Online. This is a GM event, daily event that's going on. This guy here is an NPC. His name is Colin the Wandering Healer. If you die, you can run to him and he will resurrect you at no cost. So we've got some corpses. Ooh, is that a rare one? No. Got some corpses here, and then we got a skeleton who's going to come and party with us. Who aggroed us. We're going to see. I'm going to see. I think we could take skeletons. Yeah, we could definitely take skeletons. The way in which combat skills work in this game is tactics and anatomy factor plus your weapon and strength, those 4. So, you know, like, equals your damage. So, because we have relatively high maces, relatively low tactics, we aren't hitting very hard, but we are doing a lot of damage. Sorry, we are hitting often, and that's because your skill in mace fighting is rolled against their skill, and then the resulting calculation is is if your chance to hit. So you can see we killed the skeleton. He's going to drop 6 gold for us, which sort of embarrasses our rad adventure. But what are you going to do? He also gave us 2 bandages, which we'll take. Bandages are used from the healing skill. You double click them and you click on yourself. I'm not going to be using that skill because, well, because I don't want to. And these corpses here are gray, so we can check them for any relevant loots, any fat epics, and I don't think they have anything on them. You can actually skin undead, and by double clicking here, and by clicking here, and well, normally you can carve for bones. Normally it'll let you. The spawn rate is pretty respectable, and generally speaking, it's quite a safe place to come hunt the undead. And the nice thing is that they drop gold. They also have a chance to drop armor. It's not worth anything because this is UO. UO doesn't like things for things to be easy. It wants you to work for everything. And the armor is called bone armor. It does give pretty decent defense. Don't worry about this stuff. But it breaks easy. I don't think it's repairable. It didn't used to be repairable, and it costs you dexterity to wear. That's pretty much the same for almost all armor, except for a couple of sort of the archer special armors. And so I'm going to beat on these skellies. This is probably a better option for your general combat classes. If you take the healing skill, these guys provide you with bandages, so they're really meant to be like newbie-friendly creatures. The important sort of the takeaway point, the thing to remember, I guess if there was anything to remember is that if you're gonna pick up a skill, a combat skill, the first combat skill you probably want to pick up is gonna be like mace fighting, swords fencing, archery, whatever. Archery, you have to have arrows, and so you can't just pick up a bow and start shooting stuff at random. And it's also, the other ones are fairly dexterity heavily related, which is why I chose maces. Also, I think the black staff looks really cool, and you know that this game is about looking cool. So that's sort of the basics. To attack things, you know, I covered you drag out. Maybe I didn't cover that. You drag out their name and double click them while you're in war mode. To get into war mode, you press tab. It's a toggle. You can toggle out of war mode and into war mode. Usually you'll see them highlighted with their health bar under them while you have them targeted. There's a nouveau targeting system that they put in the game. I disabled it because I like UO to look classic. That's up to you. It's toggleable in options. I trust that you guys are good enough at computers to know how to do that. But this generally is the pace of the early game. Is just beating on monsters and watching your skills go up. We've been fairly unlucky with skill scrolls. And that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I haven't really covered Fame and Karma yet, and I guess I'll talk about that. There is a notoriety system within Ultima Online. And the notoriety system basically is a way of tracking player deeds. I think there's another system in place on this server, but I'm not 100% sure of how it works. It seemed a little kind of bullshit to me, but anyway. Twigs. The notoriety system is there's two tiers. There's Fame and Karma. As Fame and Karma go up, you'll actually start gaining titles. So you'll become the respectable Mayor Sim, the Lord Mayor Sim, the Great Lord Mayor Sim. If you do bad things, you become the dastardly Mayor Sim, the despicable Mayor Sim, the vile Mayor Sim, the evil. There's, even if you can get down there, I don't know how to get down there anymore, but you can eventually become like the Dreadlord if you do enough bad things. I think they made that substantially more complicated than, generally speaking, the notoriety system used to be how they tracked unlawful player versus player behavior. So, but now they have a new system within the game. Oh, they dropped magic pants, wow. And a severed arm. Alright, well. That's kind of nice. We got some magic pants. I didn't expect to get magic armor off of a rotting zombie. We got a skill scroll though. Skill scrolls are nice. I don't know what it's for. Armsman. For mace fighting. Always nice. Makes us hit more. The new system for tracking unlawful player behavior is called murder counts. When you kill somebody, and you can kill anybody, anywhere, basically, aside from in town, at will, with very, very little repercussion, you incur what's called a murder count, and that they add up. Eventually, what the murder counts do is when you die with murder counts, oh, this guy's gonna come grief me. If you die with murder counts, you incur stat loss. And the stat loss means you'll lose... you'll lose your skills. So say you have like 7 murder counts. 5 is... if you get 5, you'll go from being blue to red, which means anybody can attack you and kill you at will, no punishment, anywhere. You cannot come in the cities if you're red. Guards will kill you on sight. You can use... I believe Buccaneer's Den is a viable murderer's trap, but I'm not 100% sure about that. They have kind of a weird system in Emporium of like kings and modifying the... Anyway, that's pointless digression. What happens when somebody takes a murder is you actually place a bounty on their head, quote unquote a bounty on their head, and when they're killed, they can pay off their murder counts, and that gold will end up in your inventory. It is not a recompense for how annoying it is to be killed by somebody, but there are things you can do to minimize getting ganked or getting killed in PvP. And then there are some things you can do to maximize getting ganked in PvP. One of the things I would advise any new player is to stay away from the Dungeon Covetous. That place is PK heaven. People go there just to kill people, and I mean, we did that back in the day, and I'm here to say that times have not changed Covetous very much. There are some big differences between this server and normal UO, well, as I know UO in terms of normal UO. You cannot recall the travel spell, inside and outside of dungeons. You can only do it to the front of the dungeon. So that's different because we used to actually mark recall runes, places where we could teleport to, that were like right at the monster spawns that we wanted to fight. And so that's kind of new and different about this server, and that makes getting away from murderers really brutally hard. I think it punishes legit non-law or legit law-abiding blue PCs a lot more than it does to reds, but it's their server, not mine. I've never been a huge fan of PvP, but I have killed my fair share of innocent people and taken their stuff in Ultima Online. So we got ourselves a pair of bone arms, bone wrist guards, and if we put them on, blink, we equip them, you see we get 5 physical resistance, but we lose a point of dexterity. So we're going to leave those off for now. Let's see, zombies, and you're pretty safe in this graveyard, all things considered. There's not much that's gonna really present a problem. There's a graveyard similar to this outside of Vesper, which I liked to go to, but there is no gank prevention or rules in there. Somehow, Sakura got locked inside my office. How did you get locked in here, Sakura? Oh, sorry about that, I'm talking to my kitty cat. So, you can already see, Ultima Online is not an adrenaline pumping, rocket jumping, up in your face, killing your man's type of game. It's a little bit slower paced. More an RPG for the adventurer than the power gamer, I would say. There definitely are power gamers in UO. That is very true. It's a good criticism of yourself, Ryan. Ooh, that's a rare zombie. When they say rare like that, it just means they're kind of special. I think we already killed one because he dropped plate pants. Either we already killed one or we killed one who had looted another one. Monsters will actually loot each other in this game, which can be really frustrating if you're trying to get a corpse run going. But you can see this is actually the money, the early money anyway. We're gonna lose our rare monster to this fencer. Yep. I'm fine with that. Holy cow! That or he's gonna help or try to kill me. Oh, looks like he's one of the few law-abiding citizens in the world of Sosaria, which, believe me, is rare. So, we're at about half-life, and that doesn't make me the most comfortable person, so I'm gonna run. I don't want to die. Not in this video. When you die, I may have not mentioned that, and that may be a deal-breaker for most of the people watching, but when you die in this game, you're dead. You lose all of your equipment. All of your gold, everything is gone. You are, for all intents and purposes, you're not, like, you can resurrect. You're not dead, but you lose everything. Well, it sits on your corpse. If you can make it back in time, then you can take everything off your corpse, but I guarantee you there will be somebody near who will consider picking your bones. You always, chips. If you can imagine, Ultima Online is very much a game without stringent rules on player behavior. And it was unlike any other game in that respect. Very unique, I would say. Because it was one of the few games where you could really do what you wanted in it. The nice thing about that little heal is its cast time is very quick. And actually, it's pretty affordable on reagents, all things considered. I mean, obviously, we need to be killing something that gives a lot more money for it to be profitable, but it's leveling up our meditation. And there will be other things that we can do to increase our money and profits. So we got ourselves a magic-studded tunic. Always nice. Try to keep my inventory a little clean. And a ribcage, which not as relevant as the magic tunic. To identify those, we either have to cast the spell Identify, which I think is like a second? No. I don't know. I know exactly what circle it is, but I have a feeling it's higher than I think, or train the identification skill. And this is Ultima Online's a game where you sort of want to have mules, if you understand what I mean by mules. A secondary trade skill style character, if you want to have a combat character anyway. If you want to be a tailor and like run around, you know, kill some rats, make some leather armor, and use that type of a play method, I would encourage you to follow your heart, because you always... This is what I'm showing you right now is a combat style character in Ultima Online. There are definitely non-combat methods. I don't know if I'll do any non-combat methods. You know, if I'll show you any non-com methods for playing the game. I'm not sure about that. It's starting a non-combat character and using carpentry is a much faster way of building up a relatively sizable bank account. It's definitely what I did to afford my first house on here, which unfortunately has since rotted away because I stopped playing. However, I think Mayor Sim will eventually become a property owner. I think that's within the scope of this playthrough. We'll see. It definitely will get easier once our majory gets higher. You see that guy there casting Portor Grav Lightning. He has a bone helmet, which is of the bone armor head slot that he's wearing. Mace fighting, by the way, is very popular among what's called the tank mages, which is sort of like the battle mage, because it doesn't require a lot of points in dexterity to be functional. He is using fencing, which for player versus enemy for PvE is also very good. It usually is my preferred method for smashing monsters over the head, but not this time. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use a staff. I kind of like the synergy between the idea of wielding a staff as my weapon and being a magician. I'm gonna try to keep one of the things that often kills UO for me, and I think it kills UO for other people, is the loss of the sense of adventure and the loss of the sense that you're playing a living, breathing video, or a living, breathing world, a persistent world, you know, towards power gaming. And I truly think to have fun in UO, you need to leave power gaming. You kind of need to just not power game and enjoy the game for what it is, which is a great video game. And that, believe me, that does become very hard, especially when you get constantly killed by player killers. That I can tell you is very tough. It takes some work, but I can tell you that when you become stronger, it does reward you. And it right now the progress feels quite slow, mostly because we're getting hosed on skill scroll drops. And neophyte biologist, that sucks. I'm actually going to turn anatomy off for now, just so we can get some meditation and majory skill scrolls. If you lock down skill scrolls for those skills that are locked down, like this, will not drop. That's a big tip. Especially because this here, majory and resisting spells, are the most expensive skills to level up in UO. As you can see, I'm slowly working my way through our reagents. It hasn't been too bad. I think probably we'll be able to be profitable. But we'll see. And so as not to bore you to tears, I'm not sure. I haven't decided whether or not I want to skip content. I really don't like doing that. It's really not what I'm about. I sort of like to show everything I do. I'm trying to think of something I could do while we are killing the zombo comms here, whacking them with our mace. There is I mean, it is an MMO. There is grinding to be done, and I'm not going to try to negate that by saying, you know, there isn't grinding or it isn't an MMO in that respect or whatnot. It's just, I don't know why that's flickering, by the way. I think that has to do with the way in which I'm being forced to record this. I apologize. If I knew how to solve it, I would. So, I may go ahead and show some of the... really wish I could find a tail. More fun aspects. I don't know if the drop rates or the skill gain rates are really crappy over here. But I can tell you we're not gaining skill very quickly. Maybe because I'm used to the dungeon, or maybe because they changed it, or changed skill gain rates or something like that. There is like I do know there is a bonus to your skills. There is a way to become like rested. I can't remember. There is a way to check that. Party manifest. I can't remember. Maybe they took it out. I would be very surprised if they did, because I like that system. But anyway, I digress. This is a great place to come hunt. I highly recommend you do. If there are people out there who really are interested in X2X channel and who are really interested in playing UO, drop me a line. And my cell phone, I apologize. Drop me a line on my channel, and I'll see if we can't maybe find a way to like get together and do some adventuring together. But for now that I've shown you the graveyard, which there's our ULPS. So there's a bunch of different spawn points. Generally speaking, all of the creatures that are around here have the similar loot tables and similar strengths. There's nothing in here that you have to be really scared of. No spellcasters. Spellcasters in UO are exceptionally dangerous. They can do a lot of burst damage very, very quickly. So I'm going to run back to Britain, especially because I have, like, for this character, 200 and some gold. So I think you can sustain... I think you can sustain the healing reagents to keep yourself healed up by doing the fighting. Not 100% sure whether that's true or not, but what I can tell you is that it's... I do not like... there's a Tanner. The Tanner will definitely take this as... I do not like the... I don't like healing very much. It's definitely useful, but... Oh, really? The Tanner's not going to take anything from us? You gotta be joking. Bye. Let's see. We got leather, cut leather, skinning knife, leather armor, backpack, hey? Bag, pouch, cut leather. Maybe they won't take the rough hides. Maybe the fur trader? Oh my god, really? But... double skill scrolls in Despise and Shame. Double gold in Deceit. Double gold in Deceit, hey? It's only one of the most frickin' dangerous... Alright, well he's not gonna sell anything to us. So, okay. It looks like these hides are, for all intents and purposes, garbage, but I'm not convinced. They are, so I'm gonna see if I can get a sewing kit. I doubt that'll work. However, I do think we can sell those bandages. It's probably a good idea to save your bandages in case you want to go with a full combat character with the healing skill. The healing skill is incredibly useful. I'm not doing it justice by disparaging it. It's a good skill to have. One of the reasons why I don't like it is a lot of people dropping random bags everywhere. One of the reasons I don't like it is because it's not instant, and in UO, not instant can actually mean death. Let's see here, sell. Oh, she doesn't want to buy it. I wonder if that's because they're in there. No, we sold the meat out of there, right? Okay. Well, anyway. It's a long, pointless digression. That is pretty much what I wanted to cover, right? In this first video. generally speaking, you're gonna want to grind out. I would want to have like around 50 anatomy, 50 tactics. It doesn't necessarily have to be that high. That's like 8 gold sitting on the ground. Poison. Don't double click poison. That will actually just kill you. Like that will kill you. I think probably from 70 hit points. Some heads of probably really nice guy who got dumpster blasted. Let's see here. Can I go deposit? No, I guess I can't. You should be able to do like a deposit command like that. I'm not 100% sure what the command is. Let's see here. The minister, the banker. Anyway. So, we made out like bandits. Well, I don't know if we made out like bandits. We did okay. I mean, we got a couple of magic items. That's definitely more than I can say for my first solo adventure. We may end up just destroying those hides. I'm sure they're good for something, but I'm not sure what danger you could lose everything. This is the portal to the daily event. There's the garbage can that I missed. I wonder how many people were like, dude, it's right there. So, I guess I'll leave you with some food for thought. I'm not for sure if this is going to be a complete playthrough. I'd like feedback, so let me know what you guys think. I'm going to put this video up as number 1. And then, like, you know, if I get a good response and you guys are like, no, we want you to keep playing, I want to see what this game has to offer, you know, show me die tubs, show me player house, blah, 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 then we'll go ahead with it. I don't know if MMOs are well suited to Let's Plays. I think if there was one, Ultima Online would be it, because you get to see hilarious things like me getting killed by players. The last time I got PK'd, the guys told me if I took my pants off, they wouldn't PK me. And then they like asked me to like bend over and show my butt, and then I said I wouldn't bend over for them. And anyway, long story short, there's some pretty hilarious player interactions within this game. So I do hope you'll join me next time on my Let's Play channel. I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading. I really am gonna try to keep to a regular upload schedule, because I know you guys wanna watch me play games. So thanks for watching, and I hope you join me next time.